Well, welcome everyone to another Meaningful Conversations podcast. This episode will be one you will not forget. It's going to be a great time as we continue celebrating Women's History Month. We've got two for the price of one right here on the podcast, just so you can be doubly blessed. And I know you are looking forward to it. We have got the mother, the daughter duo. We've just got the whole package right here. Joanna Hale-McGill. And then I just like to call her Mama Georgia, if that's all right with her. But that's fine. All right. Well, we know her as Georgia Hale and so many other things because we have been loving this relationship over the years. And so we're going to get right into this podcast as we meet these two beautiful ladies and celebrate them and just enjoy all that God has done in and through their lives. So welcome, ladies, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, you toned down now. Turn down for what? You just on 20. Go ahead and turn back up.
Thank you very much.
Well,
I'm sitting over here, Lisa. You ain't even see her. She was like a bad kid that didn't want to keep the last thing. And she kept nudging me, and I nudged her back. And she hit me, and I hit her back. Like, keep your hands to yourself. Hands are not for hitting, young lady.
Just try to get it in. Who's going first? What's going to happen? That's what she's saying. What do I do? Well, listen, congratulations. Happy Women's History Month. And, I think I need to extend it because I'm just meeting phenomenal women like yourselves. And I'm excited that you're here with me. I don't even know where to begin with the history that you both have because it is full, it's rich, but we're going to try to dive in so that everybody gets a taste of, the blessings because it all started with Mama, right? We have to give respect where respect is due. And I know that without a mother, Georgia, there would not be a Joanna. So thank you so much for bringing this beautiful soul into the world. And let me ask you, as you were growing up, because I heard about you, I saw you, and I love you. You are full of energy, full of life, and we are standing on your shoulders as the daughters that you have adopted in this world. And so I want to know, when you were growing up, what was your dream?
I was on a plantation, so I guess you would say my dream would be to get off the plantation, but I didn't know there was another life.
Yeah.
I lived on 3 plantations, so I didn't know it was another life until I think when I graduated from high school, and I knew it was another life, and I wanted to leave, but I also wanted to make it better for my brothers. So I wanted to go somewhere else and yet figure out a way to get my brothers from there too, and my sister.
Yeah, that's a time that we only have learned about. So we have not walked in your shoes. And so I know that the experience that you have is very personal. I appreciate you sharing it. And, I had Joanna at the radio station, probably now it was pre-COVID or right when COVID started. We were just getting ready to air our interview. And I'd learned some things about you, and I said, oh yeah, we have to have Mama on. And next thing you know, life changed for all of us. So it's more of an honor than you realize that you're here to share something so personal. And I definitely wanted everybody to hear it right from you about, the difficulty of that time and how you survived. So this is your time to share that. I want people to know, because I do want us to be able to see how we come from such strong backgrounds and how we're able to survive because of people like you. So you were trying to figure out really how to get off from there. And so what ultimately happened, whatever you're comfortable sharing.
I left on a Greyhound bus and I went to New Orleans. And I saw people that were light-skinned. And I found out some of them was Creole, but I had a brother that was there back in Mississippi, my baby brother, and his father was a white man, and we was going through a lot when they found out my mother had a baby for a white man. So I wanted to get him and my son away. If I get them away, then I could get my brothers, because we was going through so much because of his skin color. So I left. When I realized it was a way out, I came back and got them. I worked in New Orleans, and I worked 2 jobs, but ultimately we doing so many other things happening, but they all left.
Wonderful. And I know that was a special day to be able to get away from that, just to have a chance to live a life that was not accessible before. So now you came to New Orleans. Was it difficult to get started doing just any type of work, or how did you get settled or get started?
Well, I had a cousin there, and I lived with her and her husband and another lady for a while, but I had to leave there because of stuff they wanted me to do, but to get money, and I didn't know what that meant and how to do it. So they left me outside a lot of times at night. I had to sit outside on the porch that day, and I finally got a job, and I left there and worked, got my son and my brother in school, and ended up got another job, and then I worked 2 jobs. So I'd have enough money to pay the rent and yet be able to feed them. We wasn't getting food stamps and stuff like that at that time. I didn't really know too much about that, but I know how to work and get the bus and get home to them, and a lot of times I had to leave them there, but I did what I had to do.
So as you continued and things became a little bit more settled, were you able to, with having a couple of jobs, you were able to kind of make a little bit more and have better provisions? Things got better a bit over time?
And got a little better than my brothers when they got here. We all had each other then, and we all worked. And everybody got jobs, and all of them was carpenters, so they easily got jobs.
Great. So now when you had Joanna, what was that like? Because I see her as a bundle of energy right now. So
I was the cream of the crop. I was the cream. I was the best thing ever happened to.
How did your world change when she came?
No. That's Little Chucky, baby. That was Little Chucky.
Yeah, you just said, you're not supposed to say that name. The Lord delivers. Thank God for deliverance. All right. Thank God for deliverance.
All right. He can do it.
Strike that from the record, Your Honor.
Hey, that's what we need him to do for all of us, right?
Oh, my God.
I was still working 2 jobs and going to Southern University at night and doing stuff. And when I found out, got out of school, I graduated, got my bachelor's. Then I went back and got my master's in social work still, and drove from Picayune to New Orleans 4 nights a week. And one Saturday morning I had to drive, doing that till I finished school, graduated, and she was something else. And she ended up in school, and she was in college at Dillard University. When I found out she was pregnant, and it was a real shock still.
It was a shock. I'm still trying to figure it out.
And it was
a child, 21 years.
And it's a disbelief that I went through. But nothing changed for her. She still sung with Dillard Choir, played basketball, but there I was with a baby. I was shocked. I had a baby. And she was still going on with all her life at Dillard.
What would we do without Mother? So you made a way for a lot of people.
Oh, yes, I did.
Mother to many. That's why I said it.
Yes, yeah.
Well, life does throw us a lot of unexpected situations, and so you already had experience dealing with difficult times and really trying to kind of make a way. And so that had to be quite some challenge, just driving, trying to go to school and finish and to make a better way. And I mean, congratulations, bachelor's and a master's. You got more than most.
Yeah, and I have an associate degree in psychology too. So, yeah.
I love it. So now with your degrees, and is that the field that you work in right now, or?
I do work in that field as social work.
Okay, all right. And what do you
do? You're social work. What do you do?
Yeah.
I work for New Orleans Police Department.
Oh, At social work, God bless you.
Yeah, I work the special victim unit.
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Well, I know
we
you.
see on Law and Order that SVU.
Oh.
Like that.
Go to your next question.
Oh, I know there's been some television, so we won't skip that. I love it. So a lot of what you've learned has crossed over into real life, into other situations where you've been able to take all of that you've learned and put it into use. So has that been rewarding for you to be in social work? Obviously you wanted to help people and work with people. So have you seen where that's really come into play, especially with somebody, people that are victims at the police department? They've already gone through some trauma as well.
It came into play there, and before I even got there, because I was a social worker at the school and working with teenagers, and I was given groups of bad, as they call them, the young men that were bad apart at the school. I was given that, and I always seemed to make it work. I saw some young men recently, and one was a Caucasian, and he come and hugged me and introduced me to his wife, and he said, "I never forgot you." He said, "You fed me when I was hungry, and you would call me on Saturday morning and you'd bring me and my sister food." He said, "I never forgot that." And he had some candy in his pocket. He said, "I want to give you some candy." And I thanked him, because it's been some bad days with the schools, but just trying to help somebody. Mm-hmm. And I've seen so many young people, and I thank God for everything He given me to be there for them, and I still do it, even though I'm working in a different area now. If it's somebody I can help, and I love the elderly, and I work with them right now, I do stuff for them, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, being a social worker.
Yeah, you get to really meet a lot of people, different ages, and really touch a lot of lives. And so that makes a difference. And I think that's just a way for you to give back and to really pour into other people some of the things that you've experienced or what you may have wanted to receive for yourself. And you're able to give that to other people. So I think that's awesome. So I love that people will not forget you because of the things that you've done. That's going to be something that follows you, because when you give somebody something and you touch their heart, they're going to give back to you. They'll never forget you, and that really will be priceless. So I appreciate that. And so now, what else do you want to share? Because I'm gonna move over to Joanna, but I know that you have, because of your daughter, you have been kept on your toes, right?
Yeah, and she wrote a song for me, and it went to the Billboard charts, and it was a song that I wanted her to write for my brother. One of my brothers had a heart transplant. He had been on the list like 8 or 9 years, but he finally got it in Boston.
All right.
And she wrote the song for me, and we recorded it, and I thank her for that.
Yeah, and what's the name of that song?
God's All Right.
Yes, He is. Yes, He is. And all right, look, I'm gonna be playing that song while we're talking, so everybody can hear it. If that's all right, I have to get permission, so I'm not in a copyright problem.
Oh, you quite all right. You quite all right.
Because I want them to hear it, and everybody needs to go to your YouTube channel. I subscribed, so we got to get the thing started, because I think I'm leading the pack right here. So I like that. But I'm so proud of you. That is fantastic. Now, did you always want to record, or was that like a surprise, just an extra?
Because I always was singing. Always did. My mother used to sing, and I used to sing, and didn't expect to do that though. But I sung with several groups, and we sung for years in New Orleans, out of New Orleans, at all kind of events. And I used to bring her with me, and she didn't want to sing. Sometimes I have to bribe her, offer her money in McDonald's for her to sing. And that was my main thing with her, to get her to, because she could sing, and I knew it. But I brought her with me for years. And even at our anniversary, she'd be right there. She had a lot of the pictures with me and the people.
The matching outfits on, man. That wasn't for no young person out for them.
But we had her right
like
with
a Schwagman bag.
She was with us. You hear me?
Everywhere, huh?
Yes.
She didn't have a choice. Well, Joanna,
they used to call her my shadow.
Oh, yeah.
That's how much we would go, and she'd be with me.
They knew she would be there.
Yes, I'm proud to say that. Go ahead.
So, Joanna, you now I can't believe you didn't want to sing. That just was not your interest growing up.
I didn't know, like, I didn't know it could lead to stuff.
Yeah.
I I just wanted to be a lawyer or a judge.
Oh,
Singing
okay.
was not,
Yeah.
anywhere in my view.
Uh-huh.
It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
I was forced to do it.
Ooh.
I was forced to be in choir. And the teacher I had, Mr. Leo Jones, God rest his soul, he would have practice and he would throw the chairs around the room at Evelina C. Jones Fundamental Elementary back in school.
Okay, she's selling it out. Somebody's gonna say I was there. I know.
And he would throw them chairs, baby.
Uh-huh.
And he would cuss and everything else. But it made me who I am today. I had done so much stuff. And whatever this was I had done almost got put out.
Okay.
I had to learn.
Council shavings and the teachers.
Yeah, she drank that one. She drank the one that had the hot sauce.
Oh, mercy.
I had the 2 different days of pranks, and she drank it on a good day. Because if she drunk
oh wow! So
I probably have a record.
Oh, we can definitely say we've come this far by faith, huh?
Hallelujah! But I had to learn. He rewrote the graduation song, and I had to learn the song within 24 hours.
Wow!
And I did. Apparently, I did good. My brother jumped up, screaming and hollering, "That's my something!" Ran out the church crying.
It was in Dillon University.
Baby, that grown man was crying down. I'm like, what's wrong with that blues? It's a song, man.
Mr. Jones was crying.
Everybody was crying. I didn't realize. Remember that song by Terry Ellis, Wherever You Are?
Uh-huh.
He wrote the song to Whatever I Need to a graduation song.
Oh.
And I hit all them.
So that was the first time they had heard you actually sing.
Yes. And that was the first time I was like,
you too.
Right. I mean, I had sang for the what was that? When somebody died back in the day, they would have the wake that Friday and everybody.
It was a 2-day event.
Right. So we're in Boston or Connecticut at the family house, and Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk came on, and I just in my Japanese pajamas my sister bought me from Japan. I had them on. They were blue. I still remember like it was yesterday. Clearly I can't fit them now. I was like 8. But I stood there and I just bust out singing Can We Talk? And everybody turned and looked. And it just got quiet. And when I realized they were looking at me, I said, oh.
Uh-oh. Was that out loud?
Right. Yeah. And then that's when she realized it. And that's where it all began. She won't bring me to all these churches and sing with her. I would sit in the pew and she would call me, I want my daughter, Joanna, to come up here and sing. I say, 4-piece nugget kids meal from McDonald's.
She really would. Wow.
You got that?
So you sort of had to grow into this singing thing.
I did, because I was like, no, that ain't.
This was not the interest. So, but you did so
not
many
what
things.
The Lord ordained for me. In my mind, I'm like, he ain't got this. This ain't it. No, buddy.
That's not the conversation y'all had.
No, buddy. I done went to school for 4 years and got this degree with these student loans. We gonna work in this career so we go to pay these bills. But the Lord said,
you will
not so. Not so.
Well,
not so.
Let me just say, so you went from finding out you could sing or accepting that you could sing, and then following mom and doing what you had to do to the
by force.
By force. All right. But then something happened, because when I came into your life, or I should say you came into my life, I met you when you went to Essence and became.
Oh yeah. That,
So that wasn't forced at that point. So I think by then.
It kind of was, because I had already done American Idol like 2 or 3 times. I had done The Voice twice.
Okay.
I had done Sunday Best 3 times.
Okay.
And nothing panned out. And so, as a singer, that does something to a person. Yeah. Being told no so many times, and you thinking in your mind, well, I'm not them, but I know I'm me.
Yeah.
Still get told no. So
Right.
I was like, when I heard about the audition, the competition, I was like, I'm not doing that. And the mother of the church, she said, baby, let me tell you something, sugar. The Lord said to tell you one more competition. I said, the Lord didn't tell me that. She said, I'm telling you what I said. The Lord told me to tell you.
Oh, dear.
One more competition. This one is gonna be the one. Ito, that's what she said. I said, Mother, I hear you. And she said, do it, God, for her unbelief. All right.
Now this was before you made it to Essence.
This was months before it was even coming.
Oh, this was a word.
So then when I heard it was coming, my brother's wife told me about it. She was like, I'm going to send you the details. I was like, and you can keep that because I'm not doing it. And I looked at the details. I'm like, man, let me do this little video. I did the video. I did Amazing Grace. I sang it. I submitted the video. I had so many problems submitting the video. It was due by midnight. I submitted at 11:54. And the rest is history. Yeah.
Meant to be. Yep. You made it through all of those struggles, and it was meant to be. So fast forward after you do this audition, then we start to hear Joanna. We hear the name because lo and behold, you won. Your name was called.
Wow.
And she shouted on stage.
Baby, I don't know what kind of angel was holding me up because hair was going one way and shoes stayed on. And listen, I still look at that video like, wow, I really cut a whole rug right there. It didn't fall. Did not fall. But with that, we went to the Time Joyner family reunion. I had my first single written and produced by Deitrick. Then I sang that song with Deitrick, opened for Yolanda Adams. Was on the Yolanda Adams show. So I did a few things after that, but even after the competition, they didn't have a plan. So I made my own plan.
All right.
I just took the door that was open and I just started swinging on the hinges.
Yeah. So all the things you did were a part of the prize package?
What I just named was a part of the prize package. Yes. And then everything else after that.
Yeah. It was okay, God, me and you. Let's keep going.
I've learned a lot about these shows and competitions. I'm not gonna crush nobody's dreams, but just make sure you have a plan. Make sure you have a plan in place.
A plan B, C, and D, right?
Okay, F, G, and H. Have all the plans.
All the plans.
But I mean, it's good exposure, But you just gotta go beyond that, So after that, I just took that. I was on Cloak and Dagger season 2 premiere. I recorded it. I didn't even know it was coming on until my phone started ringing. It was like, okay, I don't see your face, but I hear your voice. Is this you? I'm like, I guess that is me. I have such a unique voice. I guess you do know that's me.
Yeah. And then some of the other things you started doing was we would see you on television and be in.
Somebody was like, "Girl, I see you on this Mars bar commercial in Florida." I say, "You do?" I ain't know. I made
but
it.
You do remember doing the show?
I did that. I was on BET Sacrifice. Okay. My sister was like, "Okay, I see this preacher that looks just like my sister." I said, "That is me. that is me up there with."
But
with
once
Cliff
again, nobody had a warning.
The check still cashed. The check still cashed.
Okay, you knew that.
Went to Bobby Jones too.
I forgot about Bobby Jones. Yeah, we did Uncle Bobby. We did Bobby Jones. I've done so many things.
You have.
Sitting there thinking back, I was like, got a little bit of a resume.
You do. I have it all in front of me. A lot of it in front of me, and I'm trying to say now, where do we begin? Because I'm telling you what you have done, and it's just been really inspirational for a lot of people. We love to see people succeed. People like myself, just proud of you, proud of the people that are, in our neighborhood who get to do a few more things maybe than just, every day.
Right.
And you get a little bit more exposure. You get to say Jesus to a bigger audience, and that's always good because ultimately everything that you all have been through, you figured out by now your foundation is in Christ. And
of course.
If it had not been for him, right, where would you be?
A ship without a sail.
Okay. All right. Without a plane.
You just out there in the ocean.
You just out. That's right. And I love that because really people get to see that when it does happen for you, it does give people a little encouragement that it could happen for them. And like you said, they should have a plan and they get to ask somebody questions. Did you start to receive mail or just somebody contact you who wanted to know what it took to try to break into the industry or who needed a little advice, or were you just still kind of running and figuring it out yourself?
I'm still figuring it out really myself. However many years this is in the game, you know, trying to narrow down the right people to be a part of the team because everybody's intentions aren't pure, you know, so you got to make sure you have your discerner on at all times because people will come in your life, what you say, for a reason, for a season, and to commit treason.
Ooh.
You know, so you just got to know what you here for.
Stay grounded, huh? Remember your why.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, Mom, so what are you thinking as you see these things start to happen? Are you saying, well, you know, I expected this. This is what I knew she could do. What were you thinking when you started to see all of the things?
Yeah, girl, what you thinking?
I was thinking everywhere she went, she wouldn't give me no outfit, and I was upset because I wanted a new outfit everywhere we was going because I was rolling with her.
But you wasn't.
Well, sometime I did get on stage when she was.
Of course, I'm a gospel singer. I never wear the same thing twice.
But she didn't want to buy me no outfits, and I keep asking.
Look for Momager. You have a shirt, Momager shirt that you wear.
Anyway, when I saw things start happening for her, I was thankful because I pray for her often. And I thank God for what he's doing and what he has been doing in her life. But I saw such a growth in her. And it was like, oh my God, look. And just recently, about 2 weeks ago, she done something I've been praying for. When I worked for the Navy for 3 years, and I was praying for something, and finally she ended up singing for the military in Vicksburg a couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Right. So God still answers prayer.
When that man told me, he said, Joanna, you know why I booked you? I said, no, sir, I don't. He said, you sang at the House of Blues 5 years ago, and I never forgot your name.
Wow.
I said, 5 years ago? He said, yes, ma'am. He said it was at a gospel brunch, and it was me and my wife, and I never forgot your name. He said, so in the room today, there's going to be a lot of colonels and generals. No pressure, though. I'm sorry, what? You talk about the big people.
Okay. All right. The people
so that led to other things as well, you know.
Yeah.
So tales coming soon on that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's seed time and harvest. I see that already. That's reaping what you sow, and you just don't know when it comes, but when it does,
you just don't know. Right.
I be telling people sowing and reaping is not just with money.
Okay.
Yeah.
You better know it's not just with money. It's your actions, how you treat people, what you do, what you don't do.
That's right.
It's gonna come back. It's gonna manifest.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
I forgot all about that. Thank you, girl. Look at you. You good for something. No matter what they say about you. You my and you don't get no bigger. It's my.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what. Now, the other thing that I know people are familiar with is seeing both of y'all together. It might not have started out that way, but somewhere along the way, you turned the camera on and said, y'all got to see what's going on with my mama. Let me tell you how this started.
Let me tell you how it started. I was living on Reed, and I had made some lemon pepper, shrimp, and asparagus for dinner. Matter of fact, I might need to make that tonight. That sounds real good. Lemon pepper, shrimp, and asparagus, and salmon.
And she accused me of something.
And boiled eggs. And I left it. I put it in the refrigerator. Mm-hmm. I said I'm gonna have that for lunch tomorrow.
Yeah.
Go to the gym that morning, and when I came back from the gym, all the shrimp was gone and the asparagus was still there.
Woo, not
the salmon and the eggs.
Gone?
So you took all the protein and left the vegetables. So I called. And she wouldn't answer. So I started calling her children. Y'all seen y'all mom? Because she ate my stuff. So she wouldn't answer. And I called her out. I don't care how you got to get shrimp. Shrimp like no other. Those were for me. Georgia, those were my shrimp.
And people started to call me and tell me what Joyner was saying. And asked me, did I steal her shrimps? And one lady, I'm not calling her name, came to church that Sunday and brought me a 5-pound bag of shrimp to give to Joanna because she was so disturbed that Joyner had said so much about those shrimps online. And after then, people just started bringing and wanted to know what could they do because they didn't want us to be mad with each other. And I continued, we didn't like that. But they really started bringing because they thought we was mad. over the shrimps, and then she just started going on with that.
We had to have a sit down meeting with me, her, and my daughter between us.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You committed a real crime.
You did. A heinous act.
And I did not take those shrimps.
Who took them? The L? Because I had L.
Were y'all in the same house? Were y'all living together, or just do you live nearby?
She partially moved in. She just come when she wanted. And I'm gonna change my keypad on my door. I'm gonna change the number so she can't just come in here.
Well, when she do that, I'll be sitting outside till somebody come home.
You will not.
And I'm gonna come right on in when they come in.
Yes, she will not keep you.
She got mad when COVID hit because I went grocery shopping for the dog and didn't include her.
Oh my goodness.
Baby, I was mad.
Leah is part of the family.
And she was telling folks something about that. You had got all that stuff. You didn't get nothing from me.
I got everything. Leah, Jayla, Jemiah, and Jamel.
And she didn't call my name. And I was in her car with her. And didn't know she had really excluded me.
She was really leaving you out.
You very upset.
It's on YouTube. Go watch it.
I think a lot of people have watched it, and you definitely have a good following now because people want to know what's going on with you, what's going on with what do we call Mother Hale, what is going on because did you recover? What happened with the shrimp? And so I think we've had several episodes since then because you come on randomly at any moment, I think, and you just start sharing. So
I be telling her she has to be consistent. It's her fault. Consistency. You gotta be consistent in one area of your life. Now you can't keep being all over the place with everything. You got to be consistent on the social media because the people want to see you.
The people want to see you, Mama.
Talk to me with your inside voice. That's what you do.
Mother is still mothering, right? Always. Well, listen, so out of that, you actually have, you named it, right? You actually have it as a show.
It's called Raising Hale. Yes.
Raising Hale.
Raising Hale. Hale.
All right. Now, when does this come on so people can look for it? Because I know they're like, yeah, I want to.
When it come on. When it come on. When it come on. When it come on.
What I feel like.
You know, when they get old, they get set in their ways.
They say what they want.
Calling me old.
I'm just saying.
She's
calling the thing a thing.
So we don't have a set time yet?
I tried to do it once a week, but it's so much involved with that. I have to record the footage. We record it, we edit it, I add all the music. I do all the production. People don't know I do the production.
And I be telling her what to take out when she made me say something.
I didn't make you say nothing. Your flesh. You need to bring your flesh under subjection.
Watch it there now.
Look here.
Watch it there.
Well, you do allow us to see y'all in some real moments. I'll say that.
Or it be real. I done got beat up online, and people enjoy it.
And I asked her to leave out this room because it's not her room.
It's not your room either. This is my house.
But that don't matter. I'll be in this room.
Right. This is the episode, right?
So people need to know this is not made up. This is real.
Really?
Nothing is ever scripted. I always catch her off guard, like when my uncle passed away and I still had his ashes, and she didn't know the ashes were sitting next to her in the car, and she was like, "What is that?" I was like, "Oh, that's George." She said, "The dead George." That's it. Yeah, he's sitting right here. He a little heavy too. Look, he got some weight.
And she had came by my job for me to eat lunch, and I ended up not eating. Threw my food.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe she brought it. And she kept George for about, 4 or 5 months?
Go ahead, told me to leave.
George went to Florida with us to sing. George went to quite a few places. Went to Ocean Spring, went to somewhere else. But George wouldn't leave. And when we was in Florida, I ended up driving and she slept on me. And when we got to this church, the man showed me where to park. And I backed up. It was nothing but, it was on the side of the church, but it was a lot of trees there. Uh-huh. She went in for sound check. I go out and get her stuff, and there was George, the box. And I was on the church ground, but I said a few charged words, trying to get her clothes and my clothes out there with nobody out there but me and the trees and George. And then it got. The night was falling. And I was very upset because George was in there. And in November, when you did the concert in La Plaza, we had some young people helping us get stuff out the car, bring it to the church. And then one of the Caucasian boys had just a box. I said, "Oh, baby, no. George, don't go put George back." And he said, "Huh?" I say, "George, go back." And he said, "George," and he hold it. just did it like that. I said, George, you need to get rid of George. Because that child just brought George out to bring him into the church. He didn't know it was, and I explained to him when it was over because he just kept looking at me, scratching his head. And I said, I wasn't hollering at you. I said, but George didn't need to come in. He didn't know what I was talking about. And afterwards, I did tell him. He just looked at me. He said,
Did he recover?
It took a while. Matter of fact, he nothing else. He hadn't came.
Well, what was the reason that George needed to still be with you?
I wanted to do a gender reveal for George. I wanted to put him in a balloon.
What?
And when you pop, he just go all over the world. You just release him that way. But I didn't think the people would blow up the balloon with the ashes in it. So, but I just wanted him to be a world traveler. Go put him in the sand, let him get the people toes.
And this was your uncle? This
was my, follow me now. This was my brother's ex-wife's uncle's best friend. Right. So after my brother and the girl divorced, they just kind of left him, and he was a paranoid schizophrenic. And so for the past 15 years, I was his caretaker.
Along with me.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was me.
He was part of the family.
We cook for him, do whatever, take care of him, pay his bills, but we just could just leave him out there. We couldn't do.
Right. George became a part of it.
Yeah.
Did we ever get a conclusion, a final resting place?
Yeah, he out there on bottom in the water. He out there on bottom in the water.
All is well.
I let him go. One day the Lord told me it's time to let him.
And she called me at work.
But I was doing it, and the little lady of the Caucasian persuasion come up beside me with her dog and rub me. It's gonna be all right. I didn't ask you to come over. And George was blowing all over her too. I said, that's what she gets. And she had to come over here.
Joyner told me, I just got rid of George. I let him go. It's all over some Caucasian lady's face. That's not what she did. But it's all over her face. And I'm saying, what? You wear what? She said, yeah, check that lady's face. I'm sure it's still on her.
Oh my goodness.
George is all on my glasses, all on my shirt. He probably around his.
So he really is spread out. Okay.
Spread out. He's a world traveler. Now, boy, that boy is all over.
Oh my goodness. Well, that sounded like a rough patch right there.
It really was.
That y'all made it through.
It really was, because George, she had moved stuff from one car to the other, but George still stayed.
It's so funny. He's not there, but the box is still in my truck. Every time she looks, she's like, is George in there? I said, no, it's just the box. It's just the shell.
You have to let George go.
She gone. It's just the box.
She get rid of the box too.
No, his certificate, his death certificate is in there. His cremation certificate, because when you travel with human remains, you have to show that that's registered. You go to jail. Although he's not there, the papers are there.
The evidence is there's some evidence.
Right. They ain't fit to put some luminol in my car and start finding ashes and stuff. I got to have papers for that.
I'm gonna give her medicine she hadn't had in it today.
Oh, is that what it is? All right.
That's what it is right now. I see it's time to give it to us.
Anyway, so listen, April 27th, you guys.
Yeah.
I am doing a decade upgrade celebration since I'm turning another year. So I'm going to do, decade upgrade. So I'm launching my shoe line right now. One shoe is currently available because some people want to actually wear the shoe to the event. It's an Italian shoe, so it's available. I'm probably going to release 3 more at the event that night. And then we're going to launch the trailer for Mother's documentary about her life story entitled The Mississippi Project, from a Master to a Masters.
Right. And then, that's what I wanted to get into as well. So,
and then I'm going to release all new music that night as well. So it's a whole production.
Yeah, that's a big night. So I'm going to put that up so everybody can see while we're talking. But so you are going to have a documentary that speaks about your life. We touched on it a little bit. And how excited are you? And how did that come about?
I'll answer that question because, it's all thanks to me, thanks to her daughter, the one that matters. Anyway. I did a night with Janis Joplin here about 2 years ago at the Lapasee Theater. And the young lady that played Aretha Franklin was there, and we talked, and we started talking about my story. And she was like, oh my God, we got to do something with this. And so we met, we talked. She got her film buddies involved, and then the documentary just kind of started being placed into motion that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they've already recorded some of the stuff. They went to Boston and talked with her and her brother, the one that had the heart transplant. He lived with a mechanical heart for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years he had a mechanical heart that he wore.
It's run by batteries outside the body.
And finally got a heart transplant.
Wow.
So some of the recording has been done already with him, and then they're going to go back to their hometown in Rolling Fork, Mississippi, and talk to them.
The end of the month.
And do a whole bunch of things. So it's going to be major. So that night on the 27th, we're just releasing the trailer so you guys can see what's to come.
That is exciting. Well, congratulations with that, Mom.
Thank you.
We're trying to take this. No, this is just the first step. You take it, get it produced, get the short film produced through the film festivals, get it to the networks. We're trying to do PBS. You know, if Amazon wants to buy it, Netflix wants to buy it. You know, if the price is right,
best bidder.
We're here. You know, but we got Natalie's goal, and she's like, I want to win an Oscar. You know, so
why not? Why not?
That's where we are.
What else do you feel about that, Mom? That is so exciting for your life to be on the screen. And
stage play is, we're going to start working on a stage play for it, you know. So it's because every year for Black History Month, she had this one woman show that she does, and she depicts certain aspects of her life that people don't know, like how she was 9 years old and she was actually you want to use the word slave, but it's kind of what it was. You know, she would set the table for the white people, and she would have to sit in the corner while they ate, and while the cat had a seat at the table, you know, and she couldn't eat until they were done eating. You know, so it's just things like that people think that we're so far removed from. No, this was in the 1950s that this was happening. Yeah.
So, Mom, what are one of the other characters that you portray? You said, how long have you been doing this one woman performance?
I know over 15 years, but I only do it at Black History Month. That's the only time I would do it.
Yeah.
But I've been doing that for quite a while.
And she brought me in to play some of the parts, like the slave master, things of that nature. Her grandmother, she would portray her grandmother at some point. So it's a lot to take. Like when I would do it at first, I was like, oh, okay. But once I became of age to really realize and understand what's going on, I was uncomfortable.
And she told me, we was at a church, and she said, I can't do this. Because some of the stuff I had been doing, and I gave her a script of what she had to do, and she said, I can't do that. I can't do that. I said, well, you got to. We here now. She said, I can't do this. And it was, and we did one time at our house. You had a get together with a lot of ladies.
I had a networking event, and she did it.
A little bit of it, and
that was not a dry eye.
And two of my nieces didn't even know nothing. She didn't know we was on a plantation. She said her dad would mention it to her, but she thought he was just joking.
Yeah.
She didn't know it was for real, and they was crying. So I said, I stopped. I didn't go do a lot because everybody was crying. I think there were like 75 people that night. And I didn't know it was gonna be. I didn't know it was gonna affect them like that. I guess because it happened to me. Yeah. But I didn't know it was gonna be so. I was just trying to talk about women's and stuff. And stuff we've gone through.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty rough, especially because I didn't expect my nieces to react, and they just kept asking me questions and said, "This really happened to y'all?" And one of my nieces said, "My dad never told me. He never told me. I didn't know he was on a plantation." It's like they was in shock, and people looking at them like, "Okay, they didn't know." It was in the 2 Sundays ago. One of the churches I was at that Sunday morning, I did 2. First time I ever done 2 on the same Sunday. I won't do that again though. But a man got up, and he was 40 years old. He went to Southern. He said he used to hear his parents talk about stuff like that. He said, but I didn't know this really existed. He said, so this really happened? I said, yeah. He said, I just never knew.
What do you think is the biggest surprise that people are responding to when they see your performance or when they, actually watch? What is it? What is the biggest surprise? Misunderstood?
That they thought that you had to be very old, and that it was people who don't, I think what they call us back then, you broke down and You can't hardly walk and get around. And then some of them don't believe it because they say, well, you're not old. I'm old. They're not my age, have lived on plantation. Not until 1965 was slavery ratified in Mississippi. A lot of people don't know it, but they can look it up and you can see it was still there.
Yeah,
we discovered yesterday on her birth certificate. It says Negro.
All of my brothers, it says Negro.
Yeah.
So people are surprised to see that. I think that I can get around and I can walk and talk, and I'm not, kind of
on your way out.
Yeah, that really has been the biggest surprise because people constantly say that but you're not old. Yeah, I am.
Well, and I think people think about movies again because it's been interpreted in different ways, and
right.
That's the history that people have to look at. It's not the experience like yourself,
right.
and just not realizing that everybody didn't have the same situation at every
right. That's correct. That's so true.
Yeah.
When I graduated and left there, we still didn't have running water. We didn't have indoor bathrooms or none of that. When I got to New Orleans and saw that, I was really amazed because I had never seen it.
Yeah, a lot of surprises, and so people are. Do people seem to be angry again once they?
Some of them. I went to Mannheim, Germany, and stayed over there a month, and I did the skit over there on a military base, and we was in a hotel. They had the ballroom, and they allowed me to do it there. My daughter-in-law got it set up for me to do it. And the guy who was the bartender was a Caucasian. He came to me when I did like the first scene, and he just started crying. He kept saying, I'm sorry. And then he said, can I talk to you? And I walked out of the room. In the hallway, he just kept saying, I'm so sorry for what you went through. I say, okay, I need to get back in. He said, I need you to know I'm sorry for what you went through. So yeah, some people, I never forgot that moment though.
Yeah.
That man was crying.
Yeah, I think people are affected differently. Everybody does not come from a background of hatred.
Right.
So they don't even realize the impact of what happened in the past and how that has affected generations and affected people. Again, it's the movies, it's what people hearsay, it's not the full truth. We know that, all the information is still not known for everybody to know, how great we are, how much of a struggle there was for our people. And so it's just truth that keeps coming out and keeps revealing itself in different ways. So yeah, people are affected differently and they have a different feeling about that. How do you say they feel some kind of way about it? And so to be able to express that, I think he's trying to apologize for, a nation, but you really can't. But I know he was heartfelt in what he said. So Joanna, for you, it was challenging to portray that because, like you said, that wasn't so very long ago. So to have to be that close, that wasn't something you were interested in trying to relive.
No, I don't. I wouldn't have made it back then. I wouldn't have made it. And to hear why they had to leave, I can't give all the details, but to hear why they actually eventually had to leave, I was like, what?
Because you didn't know that till last night, did you?
I didn't know that.
I never told her. I never told her. I never told her.
Oh,
wow. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have made it.
Yeah. So
we was on a Zoom with the director, and of course she asked Leah today.
It came out.
And I told my brother, the one who talked, and it got really quiet. I asked my other brother, did he want to elaborate on it? And I was wondering because
I never knew.
She never knew.
I never knew.
And I could hear you breathing there. I was like, okay. And we didn't even discuss it afterwards. We're okay right now.
Yeah. Well, I won't spoil it either and I will wait for the documentary and like everybody else find out, and then I'll ask why.
Okay. Very powerful situation.
Yeah. Well, I always knew that it was anybody like yourself that survived any of that time, way back when Joanna and I first interviewed. I already knew I needed you to be somewhere where we could share your story. I already knew because it's always powerful. It's always life-changing. It's always impactful. And so I appreciate you sharing just the part that, we did learn today, because you are You are special. All of our mothers are. And I know that because y'all brought us here. And we are here because of y'all. So we have to continue to honor you, whether we fussing at you for stealing the shrimp or not. we gotta give you a pass. Yeah. So now, Joanna, you have done. Oh my goodness, where do I begin? I think when I was watching you, not only from the singing, but then like yourself, you got these fancy T-shirts that I'm watching, and a lot of different paraphernalia. And I just said, I want to do that. Well, what is she doing? How does she do that? So, how many businesses do you actually have? I know by now I can say you're a serial entrepreneur, right?
I have several businesses. Look now, add designer to it. That's the next thing.
Yeah, the shoes.
The Joanna's creation side of it, the t-shirts, the apparel. Mm-hmm. Someone was just calling me about designers and stuff for her daughter's graduation. So you have that side, you have the real estate side, you have the construction consultant side, you have the food safety manager, inspector side.
And now, which order does that come in? Because let's not forget, everybody, that we know Joanna as a singer, but Joanna, let's start. You're a wife and a mother. Mm-hmm. So first of all, you're keeping a house, you're keeping children fed, dressed, clothed, going to school, husband. You wait a minute. I don't know. She
got a daughter in college too,
and
you got a 21-year-old at Jackson State University.
Oh my goodness! So now we're in another phase. So which one came first? I know it had to be, the marriage and the family and the house, but then the businesses and all of that. So you're into
the health inspector side came after that because I have a degree in public health sciences, physical therapy. So I was a health inspector for the state for many years. Then I went to the federal side. Then I went to the private side. Then I was environmental health sciences, health educator for the Department of Epidemiology and Toxicology. Then I went, where did I go after that? I think that's when COVID hit, when that ended. And then I really started full throttle. I mean, the other businesses were there kind of lingering. Okay. But once COVID hit and my contract ended with the state, with epidemiology, that was just kind of like, okay, here you go. And even through the pandemic, what did we buy? 2 houses and 3 cars.
Really?
Through the pandemic? I don't know how, because I ain't had no job. I ain't had no job.
That was seed time and harvest. Mm-hmm. Coming right back up again. Right.
So, yeah, that's kind of how, when was that, Katrina?
Yeah.
In 2005, I met an entrepreneur. I met a guy, an investor. He was like, I'm going to get you involved in real estate. I was like, for what? I don't want that. I was young. I didn't know. That was stupid to say that.
Yeah.
And I bought one house. And then 2 months later, I bought a 4-plex in April and May of 2005. And then Katrina in August.
Wow.
And they were both a total loss.
Yeah.
I was trying to get 4, but I was only able to get 2.
Yeah.
And so total loss. Then they had the road home program. And then the insurance flood paid them both off. And then there wasn't enough money to rebuild. Then you had the looters, the people we would put stuff in, then they would come in and steal the stuff. Then the little raggedy AC man dropped all 4 of my AC units before we could chain them down. He came back. He stole them all. People came and broke in the house, punched holes in the wall, pulled the electrical wire. So I've learned a lot.
Oh, I am sure.
And there was mother and your brother.
That was mother and my brothers helping us and my husband helping us piece it all right on back together. Yes.
So it's safe to say that you all definitely are surviving because of family. Family.
I lay tile. I hang sheetrock. I paint. I deal with the grass when I have on a mask so I don't fall out.
And I cut the grass before she even started. I would cut the grass. She'd say, "Well, you come in, get away from these houses." And I'd be cutting the grass at the houses because we couldn't pay nobody, but I'd be cutting it and putting some, getting some diesel, put down it. Yeah. Whatever. Cleaning.
I learned it from her. She doesn't stop. She doesn't stop.
I love it.
And all of my brothers are carpenters, so and then I was in woodwork and started carpentering before they did. So I guess I just passed it on to her.
Yeah. Now, are you the only girl?
I have another sister now. She made 50 recently. Yeah, she's in Texas. She'll be here on the weekend of the 23rd. She'll be here.
Oh yeah, for this special event. So yeah, I'm looking at your page, Joanna. You have a lot of flyers for a few different things. You've had the biggest one is the one coming up, but then you've had some other events to go on. I think you use is it the Grown and Saved party?
Oh yeah, girl.
What year are we?
Grown and Saved Night Out. What was that? That was part 3. I think we did part 3. So this year, instead of doing an actual Grown and Saved here, I'm taking it on the cruise ship. So we're going cruising. Yeah. So it's cruising with Joanna the week of Thanksgiving. I just wanted to do something different. I didn't want to be here for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to do a concert and a comedy show on the cruise ship while we all just go out and hang together. We're going to, some people are like, I don't want to go to Cozumel. Where are you going again? Going to Cozumel and Progresso. You know, it's different when you're going with new people. Yeah. You know, we're going for the experience, for the concert, just to get away. Yeah. So we do have a few cabins that are left that are still available. So if anybody wants to join us, I'd love to have you.
So they're going to be on the cruise with you, and they'll be able to experience a concert.
Yep, a concert and a comedy show.
And a comedy show. Yeah. And visit a place they haven't been to before. Maybe.
Even if you've been there before, come on back.
Even if, go see it again.
Do it again. Yeah.
Maybe I get an outfit this time that I really
buy.
Okay, well, I think you need a few outfits. You know, how many days cruise?
5. It's a 5-day cruise. We leave Monday, September 25th at 3 p.m. I'm sorry, November. I'm pushing it up. Monday, November 25th, and we return Saturday, November 30th. So you're not going to miss church at all.
All right, because somebody just went, wait a minute.
You're not going to miss church. You leave Monday and come back Saturday.
Oh, and right on time, now go back into church on Sunday.
Right there. And you still got time to catch the Bayou Classic game that night.
Ooh, worn out is what I hear, but happy, right? I love it. That is great. So how do you feel since you put on the first 2? Since this one is going to be different, but were you happy with the first 2 that came? Because I remember
this will be 4.
This is the 4th one? Okay.
This will be 4. Because the first 2 were in Chalmette.
Yeah.
The 3rd one was in La Place. And now this one we're going to Mexico for this one. You know, but this one, I think this one is going to be different. It's just going to be a totally different atmosphere, a totally different vibe, totally different set of people. And it's going to be all new music again. Yeah. So you never know what kind of.
With you. That's right, because we already have a few singles that have hit the charts for you, and so now we're going to have a full album, right?
This will be the junior album.
Okay.
It'll be the 3rd actual album. You had New Sound, Same Guy, Volume 1 and 2. Okay. And now we got Volume 3 coming out.
All right. So we're sticking with, I love that. That theme is going to be familiar with everybody. I love that. Well, that's fantastic. So I don't know. I know I didn't probably cover everything, but these are the most important things. And the things that are coming up, I wanted to be sure everybody could at least get a peek into the lives of Georgia Hale and the one and only Joanna. Oh, my goodness.
That's right. It's the one and only Joanna.
Go ahead.
There's only one. Mama, you should be saying yes. There's only one.
I don't think she can say 2.
That's my point. Now, before we wrap it up, you, out of all of the things that you do, you have a wonderful set of grandchildren, because I know I've seen them. You said you got one in college now. So what do you feel about these grandchildren? And are you the grandmother that just says, whatever you want, baby, you can have it?
Yes, she does. She's very rude. She don't listen to none of the parents.
I don't ask them for a penny for my grandchildren.
They know they can.
That's right. They know it.
You're rude.
They know it.
You're rude.
and was this is gonna be Jada last year, isn't it? Yeah,
this is last year at Jackson State. Praise the Lord.
All right, more T-shirts, right?
Party.
A party.
Party.
For the parents. For what you
for money. Right.
I love the grandchildren. I wouldn't trade them.
Mhm.
Some of them I have a little contract going with them for
Uh-oh.
certain things that they do, and then at the end of the month, if everything is done what I want to do, then I reward them. Their grades got to be a certain, got to have an A. You get $5 an A.
Oh,
Beds got to be fixed. I call, you don't tell me what time to let me look at your room.
yeah.
I got to be able to see it when I see it. It got to be straight. Got to have a good attitude with your parents.
Okay.
And
How can I sign up?
anyway, at the end of the month, they get a certain amount of money. But when the progress reports, you can make extra money. And then when the report card comes, you make extra money.
Ooh, boy. That's it.
You want to sign up too?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Any space for adopted grandchildren?
Right, right.
Come on
Joanna,
up with it.
Joanna called me one night a couple of weeks ago, and she said, I want to move back home. I hung up. And she called me back. She said, did you hang up on me? I said, because she was talking Spanish.
And then she said, I'm trying to move in with you.
She said, I'm tired of this adulting thing with all these bills.
Oh, yeah. It's real.
Adult with it.
It is, yeah, it is real. Not for the faint of heart, that's for sure, huh?
I know this
At all.
Oh my goodness. Well, I appreciate y'all. So what words would you say, Mom? You know, we all of us are trying to get it together. We're trying. We're, adulting, we already said, it's got its challenges with it. But how do you feel at this point of your life with the things you've done and where you see women in general? Are you surprised at the things that women are getting to do, are we running behind? Is it expected? What's your hope for us in the future?
I wish them all well. If they keep their heads on straight. If you don't know, my theme is, it's hard to stumble when you're on your knees. If you stay on your knees, God will lead you in all directions. It may not seem right sometimes, may not seem right. You may not even understand it, but just don't stop praying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love it. And what about you, Joanna? What are your words? I know you were forced into this industry, at a young age. But now that you're here,
I done forgot the question. She done went all Baptist, Pentecostal. It's hard to stumble me on the beach.
That's my belief.
I know.
She brought it full circle. So where do you feel about this journey? You didn't have a plan to start it this way, but now that you're here,
My sister.
yeah.
Just continue to stay the course. Because I don't understand the course. I have no idea. He know. I don't know. Because I had a plan and he laughed and was like, watch this.
Say what I want to do.
I planned and he unplanned.
Yeah.
So it's just important to be the best. I tell people all the time, be the best carbon copy of you that you can be. There's only one you.
Yeah.
So be the best you and stay the course, man.
Yeah. Well, you definitely, I don't know the course that, like you said, that you're on, but we have enjoyed following you.
I don't know if I'm in lane 4 or 5. I have no idea.
The way it goes today, people cross all kinds of ways at any given moment. So we know there's a lot of speeding going on.
It could change. All it takes is that one person.
Yeah. So
your life.
In your career, though, you have been able to, like you said, meet some people, learn some things. I mean, you did the show. What was that on internet? You were entertaining us during the pandemic, having a show.
Sip and Sing.
Oh, was it Sip and Sing?
The sip. Okay, yeah, that
was Sip and Sing. Sip and Sing was one of them.
Yeah.
Did you do the concert dealing with Sip and Sing?
That was just the live version of Sip and Sing. Yeah. Okay. Finally did it live because during the pandemic we were on the computer, and then we finally went ahead and just did it live when we had an actual audience. You give me your song request.
Yeah.
We're gonna sip water and tea. You can sip whatever you want to sip. I know what I'm sipping over here.
Yeah. I love it. Well, it's been enjoyable to see all of the things that God's allowed you to, bring forth over these years. And so we definitely want you both to have nothing but great great years ahead, as the song says, better days, because we know that you're doing it so that he gets the glory, and you're opening doors, for other people to come behind and see that things are possible that might not have been before. And so I'm not going to forget to talk about the shoes now, because you said we need to get shoes for this party.
Yeah, www.JoannaHale-McGill.com.
And where did
right
this
there
come from?
The shoe line.
Yes, this is the next new thing.
I just wanted to go outside the box. I like coloring outside the lines.
Mm-hmm.
I got put out of kindergarten because I just did what I wanted to do.
She really did.
So I just didn't want to do stuff everybody else was already doing. My good friend, shout out to Jason Pierre, he kind of started the shoe. He had a shoe line, then he had a purse line. But he has the one for men. I never saw nobody's for the women as a singer, a gospel singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, I guess this is where I'm about to shift over to next. Because I was in that funk, in that place, like, man, I don't know what's going on. Like, this don't seem like this is adding up. I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be here. But you have to remove all of the false expectation that you put on yourself. If plan A is not working, go with plan B to prep you to go back to plan A. Mm-hmm. Wherever you are, deal with that.
Yeah.
Own that, perfect that, and use that to get you to your next. That's my work.
I love it. Well, on that note, we're going to say thank you so much for being my guest today. Both of you have just filled my heart, and this has been a long time coming. So I am so glad that we finally got to do it, and hopefully we get to do it again, because we know Mother's Day is coming up, so you never know when we might get together.
My birthday's before that, right?
Uh-oh. Your birthday's before mine, too. Let's see.
When's your birthday?
May 14th.
May 3rd.
Oh, so come on now. We're in the house. Come on.
Mother's Day is in between y'all. I just say.
You're a hater.
Still in there.
You're a hater.
I love it. Well, everybody, we definitely want you to like, comment, subscribe, and make sure that you share this wonderful experience that we have had today so that everybody can get in on it. And until next time, be sure to check out another great episode for another phenomenal woman. That's going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 noon. So we want you to enjoy another meaningful conversation. And this is yours truly, Singinlisa. Until next time, keep on shining and don't forget whose you are.
Amen.
See you later.
All right.